Okay, so it's time for war. Obviously, everybody's fighting. It's going to be the end of the world, and things are going to change after this revenue chart comes out. Obviously not. But it is time for the revenue chart, which is a very interesting one, as we've been covering this for however many months, maybe even years now. And obviously, nothing really changes based on the results of these, but it is still interesting to take a look at how some games are doing. And obviously, it seems like a couple of games have EOS down at the bottom. Eversoul and Black Clover M have both EOS, both making 8,000 last month and 4,000 last month, which is pretty insane. And obviously, yeah, we got other games like Tribe 9 down here, only making 2,000. I'm surprised there's even people spending $2,000 on a game that says they're going to die in a couple of months. I mean, yeah, it is very interesting. But obviously, we've got the kind of usual suspects for the lower half of this kind of list. But I kind of wanted to go into the kind of top kind of area to take a look at how some of these games are doing, because it is very interesting just to see, what games are doing good, what games aren't doing so good. So let's just go into the top 50. Obviously, AFK Journey has fell down significantly, obviously, since their advertising kind of campaign. I feel like they had a really big campaign during their release, and, they had people like Tectone and stuff covering it. But after that, it kind of just fell off, and they're still kind of holding though. They're still at 2 million, so I think they're still doing pretty decently, but again, not as much. Obviously, got Limbus Company as well, 48th. They made 2.8 million. I mean, I still think they're doing very good, and also they just announced a collaboration with Arknights, which I think could be really big for the next couple of updates. So again, very, very cool. And then we've also moved on to like AFK Arena, other ones like that. Obviously, we're going to skip a lot of the boring ones. We've got Path to Nowhere making almost 2 million more at 3.05 million. We've got Girls Frontline 2 dropping off a little bit by about 2 million. Again, not the best, but still, they're still doing pretty good. I mean, any game in these kind of categories in the millions are still doing amazingly, and are still making a sustainable amount of money. Again, that's what a lot of people seem to not understand sometimes, is the fact that yes, although we may be talking about like, oh, Genshin Impact only made 24 million, so you get what I mean. It doesn't mean a game's going to die. I would say, a game dying territory would be, somewhere down here in like the, kind of like 40,000, 15,000, and especially the just thousands, 4,000, 2,000, unless that's like a starting up game that they're trying to get off the ground or something. That game ain't doing too good. Obviously, we got Brown Dust 2. Obviously, they've been massively in the gacha news with a lot of their very interesting designs, to say the least. And obviously, they've been absolutely killing it. We've also got like Cookie Run Kingdom as well, making 5 million. Interesting. Silver and Blood also making 5 million, I think, is actually very, very good, especially considering, the fact that they've been doing a lot of advertising. They, obviously started at 7.8 million last month, which is definitely interesting. On Myoji as well, obviously we've heard about them before. Azulane has also been picking up in revenue. They've doubled their revenue, obviously, with the new events and stuff coming out, so that is very interesting to see. There's been a lot of talk around Azulane, especially with some VTuber stuff that's going on, if you guys have seen that. But again, still doing absolutely amazingly. We've also got Infinity Nikki dropping by 3 million. Again, interesting. I don't really play it, so I don't really know what has kind of caused that. Reverse 1999 obviously going up by quite a significant amount, actually. Obviously, they're up to 7.3 million now. Again, we've got Dragon Ball still doing good. They did drop off quite a bit, but still doing amazingly. Light and Night still doing great. Blue Archive doing great. I mean, all of these games doing great. And now we get on to the real big ones. Obviously, Wuthering Waves. Wuthering Waves is actually dropped by $2 million, which honestly I think is actually pretty good. I mean, it depends whenever this was taken. I'm guessing this does include a little bit of the Augusta banner. So that is pretty interesting to me. But obviously, as you know, we've had a pretty slow patch before that with the whole, we've only had Frolova. And then we had, who was it, Shorekeeper, whoever. We had someone else, obviously, on the rerun banner. So again, we only had a one character kind of update, whereas compared to this update, obviously, we've got Augusta and Yuno, who obviously will probably make it a lot more due to the fact they're both wanted characters and there's two of them on the banner, rather than there being one new character, which can make a huge difference. But I think, only losing 2 million based off of that is actually really, really decent. And, it seems like, considering a lot of these other games, gacha money has been down quite a bit. I don't know whether there's some correlating reason for that. Maybe people are going back to school, to work, whatever, and so they're spending less money or whatever. I don't know, but it seems like a lot of them are down at the moment. We've also got Nikkei losing quite a bit, but they're also at 15 million, overtaking Wuthering Waves, which again is great to see. I love Nikkei, it's a great game. Obviously, they had a really big event, which obviously made them that 28 million before with the summer skins and stuff, so I definitely think that was a big factor to that. And then we've also got Zealous Zone Zero above that, just slightly, with 15.9 million. Again, they've lost quite a bit. I think it was what, 7 million almost lost. So that is pretty interesting to see. Again, I don't really keep up with Zenless, but it is great to see them doing great there. We've got some Gundam, some Monster Strike, Dragon Ball Z, and then we move on to Naruto Mobile, and then Arknights. Arknights have actually gone up in money. They seem to be one of the few games that have actually gone up in revenue in the kind of top half of things, which is very interesting to see. But obviously, yeah, I'm assuming they had some kind of event going on. Again, very interesting. And then we got Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact have actually lost almost half of their revenue, which obviously, I think that is due to the fact that there hasn't really been much going on in the game. I've actually been playing quite a bit of Genshin Impact recently, especially with a lot of the Nod Cry stuff coming out. I've been trying to farm up so I don't have to spend any money on the game. But I do think it is interesting. But obviously, yeah, it seems like they go for a little bit of a slower patch at the moment. But we've got Nod Cry coming out very, very soon, which is more than likely going to boost this 26 million up to something pretty crazy. We've also got Honkai Star Rail as well, losing quite a bit of money. Went from 92 million from last month down to 28 million. I mean, again, as I said, although I'm saying they're losing, it doesn't mean they're like screwed or anything. They're still making a ton of money. 28 million is still amazing. So again, that is great for them. And yeah, hopefully they can continue that. And then we've also got Uma Musume overtaking all of the Hoyoverse games, which I think is crazy. Obviously, Uma Musume has absolutely been killing it. They made 34 million last month, but they made 33 million this month, almost made 34 million this month, pretty much staying around the same in terms of revenue. So it seems like they are still bringing in the numbers. Now, me personally, I did kind of go off Uma Musume a little bit, mainly due to the fact of like, I didn't really like the gameplay loop. It just didn't really interest me. It was very exciting and fun in the first place though. Because it's just a very different kind of style of gameplay. But, obviously great to see that they have been killing it, which puts them in number 4. And then we've got Love and Deep Space and also a Pokemon Pocket TCG, which are both at 42 million. Again, 42 million for Love and Deep Space, losing better money. Pokemon TCG getting 50 million, obviously going up in revenue. Very interesting, obviously almost by, 12 million. So again, Pokemon TCG has been a very popular game for a while now. I'm assuming they had probably like a new pack drop. But again, very cool. And also Love and Deep Space, very cool. And then finally, for number 1, it is going to be Fate Grand Order. Now, I heard that there was a really cool piece of art thing that came out from Fate Grand Order recently. Again, obviously reclaiming their throne as the top gacha game in terms of revenue at the moment. If you guys remember, obviously Fate was a very prevalent part of the gacha community a while back, and then obviously Genshin and all of these other newer gacha games came out. But again, it seems that they've been killing it. Again, I've heard that there has been some really cool stuff added to the game recently, which has prompted a lot of people to buy things. So again, it definitely seems like they are on top. Now, I just want to check who exactly has been buying it, because, yep, okay, it is the JP audience that are carrying Fate Go right now. Obviously English haven't really been buying much, 4 million to altogether. China only spending around 8 million as well. And then you got JP, who obviously carry Fate Grand Order in terms of revenue, making, yeah, almost, what was that, 39 million, which again is absolutely crazy. And yeah, it's great for them. And I hope to see even more variation from that, because again, sometimes it gets a little bit boring, sometimes you don't want to see a Genshin Impact or a Zenless Zone Zero or a Love and Deep Space or a, who else was at the top before? I'm not really sure, but all of these people that have been at the top, sometimes it gets a little bit boring. Sometimes you want to see a Fate go up there. So again, it's interesting, and I think it's very cool. So overall, it seems that money in gacha is down a little bit at the moment. But I think, with a couple of really great updates coming out, for example, like Nod Cry, obviously Wuthering Waves has just started their kind of extra thing to do with, obviously and Augusta. I think that's going to bring in a lot of money. I think also, other places, maybe Love and Z Space has got some stuff in store. I know Uma Musume are due a pretty big update soon. So again, hopefully we'll see that. And also Nikkei, they have been promoting some big updates. So we should see money revenue going up as we kind of progress through the month. And yeah, we'll have to come back next month to see how it's doing. But overall, seems like pretty good, chart overall, pretty interesting. Nothing absolutely outrageous there, apart from Fate Girl obviously going up to the top. I think that is pretty a crazy feat, but I still think it is well deserved. And obviously they have done some great stuff to get up there. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kaza, get 10% off again. They've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking it out. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.